Hello, welcome to Can We Talk, the R&B podcast. I'm Omar,
Yes,
and this is
I'm
Namdi.
Nnamdi. One of the things I wanted to talk about was Mary J. Blige. Um,
Oh, Mary.
she has
Okay.
been, a constant in our peripheral since when she came out in the early '90s, and I just wanted to. She's come out with 13 albums. I mean, which is
Mhm.
an amazing feat. Countless of Grammys and stuff. But when you think about her legacy, what are the where does she stand when it comes to '90s and 2000 sort of or even R&B female acts in general? Where would you rate her?
I rate her at I rate her at the top. I think that everything that she's been able to accomplish, I mean, she's outlasted many that's come out when she came out. Um, I think that she, more than most females, I mean, most artists of her time have really connected with the audience. We grew up with her.
Mm,
And she's added a certain relatability with her struggles. Um, and then also her music is just it connects. There's certain artists that their music just connects with people, beyond just, I mean, we have the Karen Whites and we have the
Jodie
Jody
Watley.
Watleys and
Yeah.
all those, but it's something authentic and real about what Mary J. Blige brought to her music. She wasn't, I mean, and she writes, but she has had songs brought to her, but whenever she sings it, she gives it a certain authenticity, a certain, when you take Not Gonna Cry, that Babyface wrote. Now,
Mm,
anybody else would sing that song, it would have just been a standard broken-hearted cheating song.
mm,
But it's something in that grit, in that gravel in her voice. It's something that came from a real place that every female that heard that song was like, yeah, girl, I understand. I'm not gonna cry. You're right. Like they might have been in tears listening to that song because it hit somewhere.
yeah.
I was your lover and your secretary. And how many females have been their husband's secretary or their boyfriend's, you
Yeah.
know, person that keeps them together behind the closed doors, that saying that
Yeah.
nobody knows the things that you're keeping to prop this thing up. So it's something about those lyrics. It's all, lightning in a bottle, and sometimes it's just getting the right charisma and the
Mm.
right song together. And for some reason, it's just worked that way for Mary. Um,
Yeah, but I
and she has a
remember.
swagger and a charisma. So it's
Yeah.
so many different things that puts her a foot above.
But I always remember when she first came out with the what's the 411. It was like nice little. It was very different and unique because we didn't,
Mhm.
the when you think of R&B at that point, it was kind of safe with and Vogue, and
Right.
then she comes out with the sort of the hip hop and the whole thing, and then when she came out with My Life album, I rushed out. Oh, Mary's got a new album, and man, I'd never been so depressed in my life listening to an album.
Right.
It was so deep, and so when I was in college, I was working at a lightning assembly plant where they assemble bulbs and lights. And I remember would work that night, and then you hear, um, you know, if you look at my life, you see what or I'm going down. And it used to be like, man, I can't wait to get out of work because this is so boring. The song is binging through. It was like, oh
Right.
goodness,
But you
Mary.
know what it is that with that particular album, it was like her opus where she tapped into this emotion
Mm,
that many were feeling. And
yeah,
it's been one of those albums that's lived on. And I think and you're a therapist, there's a lot of mental health issues in the Black community that have not, I think, that have not been addressed, and we have always addressed it either in church or through music.
yeah,
And so that's what it is. We gravitate to those albums that have those tempos or those type of themes. Or she came in at just the timing of her arrival was right when hip hop and R&B was really kind of like a
yeah,
fresh hot thing, and it was
yeah.
new and it felt innovative. And I will say this too. I do believe a lot of her legacy and her appeal and the whole Queen of Hip Hop Soul thing was good marketing. It was good marketing.
Yeah, Uptown,
Um,
Puffy and Andre,
right.
yeah, Queen of Hip Hop Soul.
Puffy did a great job, and just that's why I say it's important to have visionaries in your career.
Yeah,
Because he stamped her for hip hop culture and for R&B culture and for pop culture. He stamped her, and it seems like she's kind of just lived out this particular. Even I mean, I don't know this if this person that she was when she was in her early 20s is who she is now, but she's adopted that role and carried it out because she realizes this
mm,
is what people want from her. She may be a completely
yeah,
different person, but she's
yeah,
also understood how to cultivate that image. But like I said, in comparison to Jay Crash, I know great Crash probably went in the comment sections. I have to check it out, but she stands up with in my personal opinion, she stands up with the Aretha Franklin. She stands up with those artists because of her influence and how the culture accepts and reveres her. She
yeah,
has her own lane. And people talk so highly of Aretha. Aretha had a lot of flop albums before she hit her. I mean, Mary was instant. Like, when will we? That's why I don't like that. We talked about this before. Let every artist have their moment. We don't have to compare each, artist. Every artist has different journeys and they mean different things for whatever era or um, people, the fans that they have. So
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't,
I think there's always a difference when somebody sees um, a live performance of an artist. Now, I've seen Mary live, and
mhm,
this was probably after her Share My World album, which I think is my favorite Mary album. It was because it came after the very critically acclaimed My Life, but it was too depressing for
depressing and
me.
down.
Share
Yeah.
My World with the whole I Can Love You, um, the stuff she did with George Benson. I mean, it was just more upbeat. It was just a lot more like, yeah, this is great. I love the album. She had
Yeah.
Rodney
She
Jenkins on it. She had R. Kelly. She had a
jerking.
mixture
Yeah.
of different tone and poke in there. So she had a,
Yeah.
a
Well, it was
lot of,
also an album of freedom. She got a chance to show other sides of
and
herself.
Puffy
And
wasn't on it as well. So it was like,
yeah.
let's change the direction and stuff. Um, but it's she isn't a Beyonce. Beyonce is
Right.
probably the closest I've seen to a Michael Jackson when it comes to a female performer. I mean, she sings live. She does amazing routines. I may not like her music as much, but I cannot take away that she's probably one of the greatest
Yeah.
performers ever. One of the top five. Um, but but
But
I have to give Mary credit for the fact that at 50, she's turned
mhm,
50 in February. If you watch some of the things posted on Halftime Chat over this past week, these are performances she did within the last 12 months.
mm,
And so at a 50-year-old, she's 10 years older than Beyonce, and yet she is
yeah.
still doing her thing. And people and you know, and she's a singer. She doesn't use um, attitudes. She doesn't mime
Right.
like Janet would do, or a lot of female artists would just mime. Will have the track playing at the back while they dance. She would
But
dance to her singing.
yeah, and that's the thing. You don't have to be a Beyonce. Like I think that everybody's made that a standard.
Yeah, that's
We've had
biased. That.
people. Yeah, right. It's like I think that it's not performing is not just about dancing because
Yeah,
remember Whitney couldn't dance. Famously, she even admitted she wasn't a dancer. But she captivated you on that stage. She had your attention when she stood on that stage and sang.
mm,
Um, Anita Baker. These people, performance is more. I mean, it's a connection that you get with that audience, how you connect. And Mary has that, and I don't think she gets the credit for her live performance as much as she should.
yeah,
People, talk about technical vocal stuff, but it's something about Mary that connects. That's the key word I keep saying over and over again because it's very important. This is what separates superstars from people who have success.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a hit single here and there, but do people return to you? Do
Mm.
people actively go looking for your music? And Mary is one of those people go looking for her music. They wait for her music.
Yeah.
When she has a concert, they pay to go see her,
Yeah.
whether she's flat or off key or sharp. These are the things that people say.
Yeah.
I think she's grown vocally over the years,
Yeah.
but
And she,
something about that energy is very. She
yeah.
still has that youthful confidence
Yeah.
about her at 50. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And she's had so many tragedies when it comes to relationships, and
Yeah.
when she sings about set free and things like that,
Oh
she's
yeah, I love
almost
that
as if
song.
she's talking about the ex-husband directly, but in the song. And so, but anyway, so as I said, it'll be great. Yeah, I just she may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's great to be able to celebrate excellence, and she's
Yeah.
just been an excellent performer and an amazing artist.